Hello, and today I'll be teaching you how to replace a Chromebook battery. But first, let's go over some history of the Chromebook. So the Chromebook as we know it today was officially announced in May 2011 by Google. It was officially on sale on June 15th, 2011. The initial reaction was skeptical because they were comparing them to more fully featured laptops that were running the Microsoft Windows operating system. However, the lower pricing of the Chromebooks made it an affordable alternative to a laptop that is limited, but it can still do the essentials. So with that, let's jump into the repair. So this is the part where I tell you to please don't try this at home. Me and my friend Caden right here are trained by the tech room, so please don't try to dismantle your Chromebook at home, because we know what we're doing. Caden, what are you doing?
I have no idea.
Okay, so first we want to gather our supplies. So the first thing you're going to need is a toolbox, and you're also obviously going to need a replacement battery. And the third thing is your broken Chromebook, which shouldn't be too hard to find.
Oops, I dropped my Chromebook.
Yep, there it is. Okay, so now that you have your tools, you're going to want to start your repair. And as you can see right here, this Chromebook doesn't power on. So that's the problem we're trying to fix. We need to replace the battery. So you flip it over, and you got 11 screws here that you need to get. Now when you grab your tool, your screwdriver, make sure you use the 1.5 sized Phillips head and put that in your screwdriver and start unscrewing them screws. And just so you know, there's going to be a lot of screws during this repair, so you're going to spend probably most of your time unscrewing things. Now because of the mass amount of screws you're going to have, I like to grab a magnet pad to put the screws on so I can keep them organized, because you're going to see different types of screws later on. And right here what I'm doing is I'm actually trying to scrape off this nub at the bottom. You're only going to want to do this for the back two, and that's because there's two hidden screws underneath them. Use any long flat tool and just get under there, and you're going to have to force it. It feels like you're breaking it, but they're stronger than you think. So after we get these last two screws out, we move on to my favorite part of the repair. So what you're going to want to do is flip it over and go to your toolbox and find this guitar pick looking thing and get one of the corners and wedge it into the side of your Chromebook and just scrape up and down until you get all the pops out. It's going to make a lot of popping noises. And you're not breaking the Chromebook, that's normal. You're going to want to do this for all the sides, and what this is doing is just getting your keyboard out, popping it out so you can get under there and pop it out like I do right here. So it just is pop right out, and then you got two little tabs right here that you're just going to unclip at the bottom by the motherboard. And I'll point to the little tab that you're going to want to unclip right here. Right there. And then they should just come out right nice and easy. And then just set your keyboard aside for now. And now we gotta start working on taking out the battery. So the battery is the bottom section of the innards of this Chromebook. It's attached by a few screws, and these are the different screws that I was talking about earlier. So you're going to want to keep these screws and the other screws separate. Now after you unscrew it, there's going to be a little rainbow connector. You just take that out, and then once you take that out, you can just pop it out like I did right there. And you can set the battery aside, and you probably want to recycle that. And this right here is our replacement battery, and you'll see me just plop it right into place, and it doesn't snap in or anything, it just sits right there on top of it. So you're going to want to screw this one in, just like the other one was screwed in, but make sure you're using the right screws. You don't want to mix and match them because it will mess up the Chromebook. And then after you finish screwing that in, just plug in your little rainbow connector thing into your motherboard. And as soon as you plug that in, you'll see right here that the Chromebook immediately powers on. And that's a good sign. So what you're going to want to do next is put your keyboard back into place, and you're going to want to stick these tabs back into the slots and then push the tabs down to lock them back into place. I will say it's a little tricky if you've never done it before, but you will get the hang of it eventually. And you'll know you did that part right if you can type into the little search box right here, and if you can move your mouse around. Now as you can see right here, I can type but I can't move my mouse around. So what that means is that I just have to power down the Chromebook and power it back on, and usually that fixes the problem. So now you just have to screw back in all the bottom screws that were holding in the keyboard, and that's going to take a while, but the good news is after that you are done with your repair.